Alrighty guys, so is today's price action enough in the comeback again that we may transition to the strength side? Is this the near-term bottom confirmation? Because you are seeing today, especially memory stocks, Micron regaining the upper edge of the area, which I mentioned that as if we want to come back in the game, we will have to regain this by today without losing further below. Is that sufficient enough? Sandisk also is a little bit bouncing up still, though red, but as I said, the bodies in itself don't really mean much, right? We have to see the overall price action. Is the Sandisk also about to make a bottom? SK Hynix really pushing through strong today. Is this good to go, right? There's a lot of positive sentiment. We'll take a look at Nvidia also, how our zones are working. AMD, ARM, Broadcom, TSM has its earnings in just 2 days, right? Intel, Seagate, like where are the chips flowing, right, in these semiconductors? So let's take a look at all of that in this video for the morning update. Before going further, as always though, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. Okay, so this is what happens in the transition phases, okay? That you will see a lot of chop around, okay? We are, though, as I'm mentioning that, I want to make one point clear. We are on the lower edge of still bearish and possibly transitioning phase, okay? So as I have explained to you guys previously, we have a run-up phase, we have a rundown phase, we have consolidation phase, we have distribution phase up there, and the consolidation phase, right? And in between the phases, we have transitions. So we have the lower end of the transition and an upper end of the transition that defines our probability. Micron in this case is, you can expect it somewhere over here. Now this consolidation phase is not nearly like the bottom consolidation phase. This is just like a near-term price action consolidation phase, okay, which is a part of this ongoing negative side, okay? So usually you may be familiar with consolidation and distribution, usually at the bottom and the top of the price action. So you would think that, oh, this is the consolidation phase and this is the distribution phase, but not necessarily. We use these terms interchangeably as we also define our horizon based on the price action. So in this case, our context is this particular horizon of the price action, okay? And in there, we are seeing this a potential consolidation phase building up. But one day you will see that we are on the lower end of the transition phase, and one day we are on the upper end of the transition phase, and this defines our probability. Are we going to break to the downside or are we going to break to the upside? So what is Micron telling us today? All right, I've got to get rid of all these drawings. All right, but I wanted to explain you how you read this, right? So if you found that helpful, please hit the like and subscribe. All right, so here we are regaining a zone of 950 that I have told you that if it can start to regain this today, we will be on the upper edge of the transition phase, right? So let's get to the hourly interval. And we did that, okay, we did that. However, we are still a little bit rejecting at the upper edge of it. So you get my point, right? We are right in the center there, right in the center, okay? Now it's a rebound, part of a rebound again. That weakness a little bit is trying to negate that overall. We are still, as I said, on the overall negative side of the direction with a potential through from the consolidation phase, okay? So it's not that we are already bullish in the run up again. We are just still transitioning here, okay? So, and this is where it's good for you if you are a bull in a way that, okay, at least further downfall is stopped, okay? So, but if you are a bear, definitely this is what you would be like, okay, maybe it may not break down anymore. So it's like a transition happening. It's like 50-50 tug of war between bulls and the bears. Now, having said that, if we can today close closer to this 990 zone, it will be on the transition phase of the bull side. If we close, unfortunately, again, closer to 950 today, it will be on the bears transition side. Okay, so this is how simple it is. And in between, it's a tug of war. Okay, so it also helps sometimes when the prices in in these type of sideways action, 4 hours intervals also help quite a lot in reading properly in a way that you are not really, if you're having trouble reading on the hourly interval in these days, then it's better to jump a little bit on the 4 hours interval. And so here we are, nothing changes in my explanation, but my point is that if this has to become a in the near term price action, a consolidation phase, we have to be on the upper edge of this breakout, right? That's why I gave you that $990 area. I mean, my tools are marking these zones. I'm not really, imagining things here. As you can see precisely, you will see the price action will react at these zones, right? So and yeah, so here as we have to get above that 990, and it will start a little bit more transition again on the strength side. So I know it's not a bullish or bearish buy or sell answer, because that's what the price action is right now. It's not, you can put your chips based off of the probability if you want to, but just so you know that we are still in the middle of tug of war here in the price action. Not a, it's getting again closer to the strength side, but it is still falling short of just confirming that. So you have to be very careful in these times. You don't want to be faked out, okay? But anyhow, if we eventually, if in coming days you start to see a lower end closes of the day, yeah, then you can expect, unfortunately, weakness to come in. Sandisk. So Sandisk is little bit looks like on the weaker side, but that's the case because the candle body color itself is not in itself means too much. We have to look at the price action overall. Now Sandisk is, I would say, yes, it bounced today with a gap up above that 1690 significant level, but just like Micron, it is also this is a 50% probability of the tug of war. Yes, it's on the little bit on the still weakness side of the transition, because it's still on the closer edge of the downside area, and overall it never became bullish. So it's not that it's in the zone of overall bullishness already, it's on the overall negative side zone overall, with a potential consolidation phase with a transition, which right now it's still on the weakness end of it. So I would say Micron is stronger today than Sandisk in the price action. But today's price action is mostly just still a part of a bounce, and unfortunately, if we start to lose again 1690 and on the closer end of it, we will continue in trouble on Sandisk. So bulls are not fully in the control. They can, if we start to see a close today above, closer to again like 1860 and so forth up there, right? So anyways, that's Sandisk. All right, and these are the times that you really start to learn the price action, because you would be like, oh wait, what, today we are not like in the bullish strength, oh wait, today we are not in the bearish strength either, like what's going on? And this is where you really start to learn, okay, what is the price action telling us? How do we dissect it, right? So all right, let's get to SK Hynix. So SK Hynix is looking strong today. Now while I'm on SK Hynix, let me show you Kospi. So Kospi did test our zone yesterday that I gave you in my video last evening. So you can check it out on my channel. If you haven't done so, you should actually check it out. And I will be doing an update also today as well on Kospi when it opens. So yeah, while I'm on that, guys, also feel free to check out members only videos if you're interested in a lot more stocks that I do for the members, a lot of teaching I do for the members, how to read the price action and all. You will find the details to join the membership in the description of this video. Now, all right, let's get back over here. And if you also need my tools, these tools that, helps me identify how to read the price action. There are many tools. I usually just see one tool on my screen, but there are 4 tools. My tools, if you need them, you will also find them on Patreon. Links are in the description of this video, as I said. All right. So Kospi here is almost tested our zone below, and it's still closed in the bounce, not like bullish, but it's closed in the bounce. As I said, it will take few days before it really confirms if it has to be the bottom stabilization, but that's the zone you would watch that I mentioned. SK Hynix also closed strong, but in a way, it's a part of a rebound still. We are still in that rejection zone at like 2 million area. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is so that you can understand. Let me actually show you Samsung also. It's just a rebound. It just closed in a rebound, not in a bullish trend. The reason I'm showing you this SK Hynix on Kospi is because the Nasdaq SK Hynix is mostly just an extension of that in terms of shares and correlation. So, and why it helps to look at the Kospi side of the or Korean market side of SK Hynix is because this SK Hynix on Nasdaq is very young price action. You don't know what is the context before just 2-3 days, right? And now when I show you the context, because here you would be like, oh, it's bullish. It's like it's taking out the previous candle. It's going to shoot to the moon now. Not that quick. Why not that quick? Because if I show, as I just showed you SK Hynix, what is the prior context here? We have been on the decline. So that candle that you are seeing today on the Nasdaq side may not mean much. Okay, but yes, it's a good strength. It's a good strength. I'll give it that. It's still too young of a price action, but if you want to do it, you will have to use the reference with the Korean market right now. It's too young of a price action, but it has a room to give you a couple of days of stabilization here actually. So that's how you would have to read the SK Hynix on Nasdaq here right now, which will be technically a potential sideways consolidation in the part of a rebound on the Korean market. So just so you know that even if that gives you stabilization, it's technically part of it, just a rebound stabilization. Okay. All right, let's get back over here now to Nvidia, guys. So Nvidia doing awesome today, right? Like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I told you 199.50 breakout, a bullish trade. I even told you guys, I'm okay, I'm fine even until 203, 204. Yes, this red candle is looking bad, but technically it's just a pullback. And look at it, that pullback exactly at our zone. And this zone, I didn't just imagine, my tools marked it for you all automatically. Right at that zone, yes, pullback happened, but we got bought up, right? And I told you it's just a part of a pullback. Until this zone, we have to read it as a pullback for this very reason. Today we are pushing through, right? All good. Nvidia is still in the bullish side for us and looking really good, really strong. And AMD liquidity zone again, guys. Liquidity zone again and selling out there again today. Now look, nothing has changed in what I have said in my previous videos as well. 528 above, you are on the bullish distribution side. 528 below, you're in the bearish distribution side, and below 500 you are not into AMD anymore. You are taking profits, getting out. Above 550 area, you continue to hold technically, right? So my point, and here I have been telling you, just take 50% off, and for the rest of the position, just hold and wait for the breakout, just then hold, and or get out if you break out to the downside, right? That's how simple AMD is to trade. Again, what I'm showing you is the liquidity zone is still acting strong on this thing, still giving it a sell-off. So, but if it continues to close strong up here, eventually it has a room to break out. So it's all about, you just gotta wait now, right? So that's all what it is. ARM unfortunately didn't show any strength, and any bounces technically didn't come. We were bearish even below like 338, and then when we lost 307, well, pretty much as you know, we were bearish already. It's just making a next leg lower today, right? So nothing has changed on ARM. Next leg it has to come down to is 238. Yeah, it's just on the negative side here. Nothing changes on this thing. Broadcom was another one, just like Nvidia. I mentioned that technically it's just a pullback, guys, until this zone. 386, we are getting bought up right at that zone. Nothing has changed the plan for me. I'm still bullish on this thing. And even a pullback until 370, I will be still bullish on this thing technically in the overall bias right now. I do think Broadcom, even if it doesn't give like strong run-ups, I just don't think right now it shows enough price action that it's going to crash lower as well. So this is mostly the zone it may start to stabilize. TSM earnings are what you have to watch this Thursday, which let's talk about TSM. So a TSM is on the decline side. Okay, now we did chop around quite a lot at 447, but it eventually is just failing to regain that. And this is pretty much getting almost also at the last line of defense, 421. If it doesn't turn around here, it's going to continue lower at this point, which is already continuing from the zone above. Now, as I have told you previously that you gotta just, you know, well, sorry, now you just let the earnings happen. If things will change to the upside, only earnings can do that. Otherwise, no, we are in the weakness. As we start to lose 421, we can be testing soon 388 and so forth. Okay, let's take a look at Intel now. Intel also is in the weakness. It is bouncing at this zone, but it's just a bounce, guys. These areas are the where price will react the most, and because my tools have marked these zones for you, and we are still in the negative side. And as if we lose 101, it's going to continue much lower. It's today's bounce is just a little bit of a bounce right now. It doesn't give it strength. On the hourly interval, even if a turnaround has to happen, we are very far away from that, guys. Like, it will take a couple of days for it to do that, so there's no point in talking about that anyways. But that will be also, even like, we'll have to see it closer to 115 in a strengthful way without losing a zone below. Seagate also a bounce day today on Seagate, but however, it is giving up. Now it is also just like Micron and Sandisk here, like it potentially a transition phase, but the retests are still failing, right? So you can see exactly precisely at that zone, it's selling off, and it's continuing to the downside. So no, and only Seagate will turn around from where it is as we get above 937. So it's still on the weakness side. Yes, rebounds are happening, but they are just remaining rebounds, and it's still in the weakness. Right now, the only potential turnaround besides AMD, which is already strengthful, and Nvidia and Broadcom, they are already great to the upside. When we talk about memory stocks between among Micron, Sandisk, and Seagate, Micron is still right now at least little little bit that is in the on the transition strengthful side, but it's not full on out of the weakness. It is still on the bearish end. Sandisk is a little bit weaker, and so is Seagate. So again, these are just the transition phases right now, which let's see, which technically it's transitioning between bear edge and the bullish edge, but it's part of a transition phase still. So all right, guys, well, that's all I had for you in this video. Please hit the like and subscribe if you found this video helpful and valuable. Don't forget to check out members only videos if you want to have a full coverage, also learn more about the price actions, and also my tools. If you need them, you will find them on Patreon. All the links are in the description of this video. If you are watching this video on mobile, you might have to click a more button, and then description field may show up, and will show up actually, and that's where you will click on the description field, and that's where you will find the links. YouTube really hides the description part on the videos now on the mobile. I don't know for what reason, maybe to save the space, but yeah, it's just more like it, no one reads the description, right? So I think that's the reason that they don't really give that intuitive way of accessing it. So all right, guys, in that with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.